One pass, one finish, one moment of pure genius. Gone just like that in seconds by a machine. And if you think this was just another VAR decision that fans got emotional about and moved on from, you have no idea what was already happening around that stadium before a single ball was even kicked. Because the story starts long before Mehdi Taremi put the ball in the net. And it ends in a place that should make every football fan deeply uncomfortable. Let's go back to Sunday night, SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles, California, Iran against Belgium. Group G, June 21st, 2026. Before the match even began, the atmosphere inside that stadium was unlike anything this World Cup had produced. Iran's national anthem played, and thousands of fans inside the stadium booed it. Not rival fans, not Belgium supporters, fans, many of them Iranian diaspora, who came specifically to protest against the Iranian government, standing inside an American stadium, turning their backs and whistling through the anthem of their own country's team. That's the world Iran's players walked into. That's the weight they were already carrying. Players who had traveled from Tijuana every single match day because they are not allowed to sleep on American soil overnight. Players whose federation president was denied a visa to even attend the tournament draw. Players whose coaching staff, multiple members, were turned away at the border entirely. Think about that for a second. You are representing your country at the World Cup. You wake up every match morning in a foreign city, cross a border, play, and go back. Your fans are divided between people who support you and people who came to protest against everything your country represents. And you walk out onto the pitch and you play anyway. 40 minutes into that match, Iran produced something that made every single piece of that noise irrelevant for one beautiful moment. A free kick on the edge of Belgium's penalty area, Thibaut Courtois in goal, one of the best goalkeepers on the planet. The obvious play is a shot. Belgium's wall is set, Belgium's defenders are ready. Ehsan Hajsafi shapes to shoot, then stops and slips a perfectly disguised short pass and straight through Belgium's wall directly to Mehdi Taremi running in behind. Belgium had no answer. They never saw it coming. Taremi took one touch, composed himself, and rolled it into the back of the net. The Iranian bench erupted. The Iranian fans in Sophie Stadium, those who came to support, not to protest, went absolutely wild. It was one of the smartest, most beautifully executed set pieces of this entire tournament. A training ground move pulled off on football's biggest stage. For about 90 seconds, it felt like one of the goals of the World Cup. Then the VAR screen lit up. Here's the thing. The review took time, long enough for every Iran supporter inside that stadium to go completely quiet. And then the call came down. Offside. Goal disallowed. The reason? Taremi's body, specifically, according to reports, his backside had crossed the line of the last defender by a matter of centimeters when Hajsafi played the pass. Automated offside technology, the same system that has been used since Qatar 2022, detected it. The lines were drawn, the call was confirmed, goal cancelled just like that. But here's where it gets stranger, because that wasn't even the only reason the goal could have been ruled out. According to the official rules of football, when a defending team sets a wall of three or more players, all attacking players must remain at least 1 meter away from that wall until the kick is taken. During Iran's free kick, one Iranian player was standing directly beside the Belgian wall, using his body to block defenders from reacting as the pass was played. Fox Sports referee analyst Mark Clattenburg flagged this on broadcast. Even if Taremi had been completely onside, that encroachment alone could have been enough to cancel the goal. So the goal was wrong. Technically, by the letter of the law, the right call was made. And yet, if you want to follow every controversial moment of this World Cup as it happens, subscribe right now because this tournament is producing stories that you genuinely cannot afford to miss. And we are covering every single one. Because here's where the conversation stops being about offside lines and starts being about something much bigger. Iran finished that match 0-0. Belgium, who went down to 10 men in the 66th minute after Nathan Nagoy was shown a straight red card for denying, still managed to keep a clean sheet. Iran, against 10 men at a home away ground emotionally, with everything to play for, couldn't find a winner. The goal they thought they had scored, the goal that would have given them the lead, the momentum, the belief, was taken away by a centimeter. Not by a bad tackle, not by a deliberate foul, by a body part crossing a line by a distance that no human eye could have detected without a computer. And this is the heart of the debate that has been building since automated offside technology was introduced, and that Iran's disallowed goal just brought back to the center of world football with a force nobody was ready for. Because the question isn't whether the technology is accurate, the question is whether football was supposed to be decided this way. The people who defend the system will tell you this is exactly what football needed. For decades, offside decisions were a laboratory. One assistant referee standing at pitch level, trying to track multiple players simultaneously, making split second calls that changed matches and went wrong constantly. The automated system removes human error entirely. Every player is tracked in real time. Every body part that can legally score a goal is measured. The calls are objective. No guesswork, no controversy about whether the linesman's flag went up too early or too late. And honestly, they're not wrong. But the people who challenge the system will tell you something different. They'll tell you that football was built around the spirit of the game, and that the spirit of the offside law was never to disallow a perfectly intelligent, brilliantly executed goal because a player's backside crossed an invisible line by 2 centimeters while a pass was being played. They'll tell you the original purpose of the offside rule was to stop players from goal hanging, from standing completely behind a defense waiting for the ball. Taremi wasn't goal hanging. He was making a sharp, timed run into a gap created by a brilliant set piece, and honestly, they are not wrong either. Now, hold both of those arguments in your head at the same time, because that is exactly what makes this so difficult to resolve. The technology is correct, the decision was correct by the rules as they are written. And yet, something about it still feels profoundly wrong to anyone who watched that goal go in and felt the joy of it before the screen lit up. Iran now face a situation where they must get a result in their final group game to have